Hey timeless travelers, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to do the very last video on Dubai in the series. This is actually a know before you go video. So we did do a review on the hotels and the costs and things like that, but we did not do an actual know before you go with giving some tips on what to do when you get to Dubai. So we're going to go over that right now. I'm just going to give a few things and go over a few things, like I said, the questions that people asked, because I wanted to do two separate videos. I wanted to do the review video and then the know before you go video. So here we go. First things first. Going to another country. Before we left to go to Dubai, we knew obviously we were going across the world to another country. So we bought a power converter. So we bought this. I'm figuring out how to open it. Hold on. Okay. So we actually bought this power converter. As you can see, it has the regular plugs, but it has the prongs to convert to the power over there. So it has a couple of different prongs inside it. We actually bought some separate ones, and then this one came with it, or whatever. But we bought the carrying case separate because I actually wanted to make sure that I kept all the cords and all the prongs together. And I will put the link for this below if anybody needs to purchase a converter. And I am wearing some things I bought in Dubai, my little head jewelry and my little pashmina that Will bought me. And so anyway, number two, before we went to Dubai, things that we didn't know. So I want to talk about that as well. So one of the things that we did not know on our way going to Dubai, when you go to a restaurant, so you know how here in America, how you go to a restaurant, you sit down, the waitress or waiter comes to the table and you're like, yeah, can I get some water, with lemon, blah, 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 blah. That does not happen in Dubai. You actually have to purchase water everywhere, and they do not bring it, they don't bring you glasses of water and then bring a pitcher and pour it for you. You actually have to buy bottles of water. So the first day that we got there, the lady asked us if we wanted sparkling or still, and Will was like sparkling and I was like still, and she kind of stood there like okay, it's big bottle, and we were just like, okay, what do you mean? And then she was like, she brought one bottle, a big liter bottle of sparkling water and 1 liter bottle of still water for both of us. And we were like, oh, and then we got the bill. We were like, oh, we got to pay for that. Okay, that's a thing. So we thought maybe it's just the restaurant that we were staying at the hotel. Nope, that is a thing everywhere. You have to buy bottled water at your restaurant. They don't just give you filtered water or put pitchers in the water in pitchers and then come pour it at your table. You actually have to buy water. So if you notice on a couple of the videos when Will was ordering our food, he was actually ordering water, still water, for both of us. So we had to either agree every day on, do we want sparkling or do we want still? I actually don't like sparkling water, so I would have to be compromised and be like, okay, sparkling today, or for this meal or whatever. We had water in our room, but if you go to a restaurant anywhere, you had to actually buy water. Speaking of restaurants, there are no all-inclusive resorts in Dubai. Well, I take that back. There is one all-inclusive resort in Dubai that is a true all-inclusive, meaning all your drinks, snacks, food, and all that. It is actually outside of town, way outside of town. So if you're going to that resort, you're going to that resort. You're not going to Dubai. There are restaurants that have what's called half board and full board, meaning, so for instance, let's say your hotel costs $200 a night for a regular room. Well, you would pay $300 for half board, meaning your breakfast and your lunch, or you would pay $375 for full board, which meant breakfast, lunch, and dinner was included in your stay while you were there. So it's discounted or whatever, instead of whatever the regular price is for meals, but you're basically adding it to the cost of your room. So of course we did not do that because we were not going to be at our hotel that often. So we went out to eat quite a bit. So that you have to figure that into your budget. Budget, there was a question that was asked, and I didn't really answer the question thoroughly in my tips video, so I'm going to answer that now. Again, I really can't tell someone how much to budget. What I can say, what you need to budget for, and this is standard in Dubai, you need to budget for all of your meals. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner is not included in most hotel stays. If they include breakfast, it's going to be an additional fee for it. So it may be discounted. For instance, when we were at the Avani, our breakfast was included in the cost of our room, but our room was discounted. So for instance, if the room cost $100 a night and breakfast is $35 a night, we got the bed and breakfast discount, which made our breakfast $20 instead of $30, if that makes sense. So you have to budget out for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks, meals, whatever your snacks, and whatever you're gonna have. As far as transportation in Dubai, so we did our research on this a little bit, but not enough. And it also had to do with where we were staying when we first got there versus where we were staying on the second half of the trip. So we actually knew that we could ride the train and the tram to get around in Dubai, but we didn't really do a lot of research on it. And then sometimes we were just like, we don't have time to ride the train or the tram. So we would just call an Uber, because we were like, the train would take us maybe 45 minutes to get there versus calling an Uber and get there in 15-20 minutes. The difference in price, however, we started using the train and the tram toward the end of the trip, but it's also because we were closer to the places we were visiting. When we were in Old Dubai, for instance, you would have had to take the green line and then connect to the red line to get to the Dubai Mall. From where we were staying, that could have been approximately an hour and a half worth of train ride versus a 25-minute ride in an Uber. So the difference in cost would have been, we paid $25 for the Uber versus $3 to get there on the train. So it was a time versus cost effective issue at some points. If we would have been able to get up, get ready, get out and get moving, there are times where we could have taken the train to get where we were going, but we just didn't want to. And then there were times where I was dressed up and I didn't want to walk. So it was like, just call an Uber. The Knoll card. So we did purchase the Knoll card while we were there. You have to have a Knoll card to check in and out of the train stations. So I'm going to show you the Knoll card. So here's the Knoll card. So I hope you can see that. Okay. I think my hand is over the words. Okay, so you have to purchase the Knoll card to get on and off the train station, or you would have actually gotten a fine if you didn't check in and out when you got on there. But you load money up on there, and that's how you paid for your tram and train rides when you got on and off the train. So we did purchase those actually at the train station. It was super easy. The machine to ask you if you wanted whatever language you wanted, and then you put in the money conversion rate, or however it converts it over for you. Speaking of conversion rate, so I'm going to show you guys a couple of Dubai dollars. Wait, let me make sure I'm on the right side, and I am not. Okay, so this is a $5 and $10 dirham. The conversion rate at the time that we were there was 100 US dollars was around 28 dirham. So the conversion rate is very different. We had to calculate that consistently wherever we went, because they would ask us if we wanted to pay in dirhams, if we wanted to pay in US dollars. And we used our credit card a lot, and I'll get to that in a second because I do want to talk about money. We used our credit card a lot because we don't have international charges. So I do encourage you to get a credit card with a company that does not have international charges. Like we have Capital One, so we don't have international charges. Funny story, we actually have a Southwest credit card because it's a travel card. However, they have international charges, so didn't help us at all. So we used our Capital One card instead. But we also had cash a lot. So we actually went to, if you saw one of the videos, we actually went to the exchange house in the Dubai Mall to exchange money from dollars to dirhams, so that we would actually have money in their currency to go ahead and use while we were there. That way we actually got a better exchange rate. When we were there were times where we, like at the souk, where we could bargain, and then there were times where we were at the mall where the price is just set. So what we did before we got over there, again, these are things that we researched before we went. We actually had a conversion rate app where we would actually, when we would go somewhere, we get ready to purchase something, we would see it was an AED. We put it in the app, calculate it, and see, okay, how much is this US? Is this a good deal or not? So we did that consistently while we were there. So I'd highly encourage you to download an app that has a conversion chart in it. Internet. We had, when we got there, again, you can see it in video one, day one. When we got to the airport, Will actually went and bought a pocket Wi-Fi while we were there. They actually didn't give us the pocket Wi-Fi. They gave us a SIM card for the phone that we could actually put in the phone and have the Wi-Fi. That's not what we asked for. So we really didn't use it a lot. We wound up calling our phone company and actually updating our data roaming charges, and just went ahead and paid for that. And you know, we were just kind of mad about the whole SIM card thing. The reason why we wanted a pocket Wi-Fi, every time I come here, my nose are running. The reason why we wanted a pocket Wi-Fi is because we needed it for both phones and to use both devices. Now, we did have Wi-Fi at both hotels, in the mall, everywhere we went, public places always had Wi-Fi, but we wanted it for our data because we had the Entertainer app. So we were using the Entertainer app wherever we went, for the buy one, get one free. So I did talk about that in the previous video. The Entertainer app, I highly encourage you to look it up. It's Entertainer. I don't remember the website. I can link it below or whatever. But it's Entertainer for Dubai. And it was a lot of places where they had buy one, get one free. And a lot of restaurants, excursions, hotels, all the different things you can think of, they had buy one, get one free. So we were able to use the Entertainer app and save a lot of money. Again, that goes back to when people are asking about spending money. You want to look at the places that you want to go, the excursions that you want to do, the places that you want to eat, and see if it's in the Entertainer and it could save you some money on that aspect. Now, as far as the malls, we went to Dubai Mall, which is the largest mall in the world, and we also went to Mall of the Emirates. Some people were confused. Those are two different places. Dubai Mall is the one connected to Burj Khalifa, and the Mall of the Emirates is where we went to ski Dubai. So those were definitely two different places. They're two different huge malls, but they are two different places. Desert Safari. We definitely did some research before we decided on the Desert Safari. We actually wanted to go with a different company, but that company wasn't in the Entertainer and it was a little bit more expensive. And the next best thing was the Arabian Nights tour, which was fantastic. We had a great time with them. Our driver was great. The food at the buffet was great. The entertainment was great. So we're actually glad we went with Arabian Nights. Now, there were some things that we did that were not in the Entertainer, but we knew we knew going in how much they cost, and we knew that was just an extra splurge that we were going to do. Aqua Adventure is not in the Entertainer app. However, Wild Wadi is. So if you don't care about going to Aqua Adventure at Atlantis, but you want to go to a water park, definitely Wild Wadi is, somewhere that they hype up in Dubai. Like, a lot of people go to Wild Wadi. I think I've covered everything. I actually didn't write this one down because I really kind of knew off the top of my head some of the questions that people were asking, the know before you go thing. If you're not adventurous, if you are not comfortable with going out and just doing things on your own, I would recommend doing a guided tour around Dubai, and doing the tours that are guided. We did not opt for any guided tours at all because I did not want to be on someone else's time frame. I wanted to be able to move and go where I wanted to go when I wanted to go. If I wanted to call the Uber and be like, we're ready, let's go, we did that. If we wanted to jump on the train or the tram and be like, okay, let's go explore this place, we could do that. We even moved some of our excursions around just because of time. We had spent so much time at one place that it ran over into the time we were supposed to be somewhere else. And we were just like, oh, we'll just go tomorrow. So I encourage you to do research on the places that you're going, and definitely don't be scared to take public transportation. Don't be scared to get in an Uber or a Lyft or whatever. Of course, be safe, but we just didn't want to do a guided tour because we did not want anyone telling us where we had to be and where we had to go. If we would have paid for a guided tour for the day we went to Abu Dhabi, we would have never went to IMG World, and we would have missed out on so much fun doing the just the whole park in itself. But obviously, you guys know that I loved the Iron Man experience. I'm a Marvel baby, so I loved it. If you guys have any other questions about know before you go when you get to Dubai, please hit me in the comments. Let me know. I will definitely answer your questions. But like I said, I think that's it. Those are definitely the top things that you should know before you go. Oh, I did forget one. Sorry. Where to stay in Dubai. This was a big one. We actually wanted to stay in Old Dubai because we wanted to see that area. As travel agents, we want to be able to say, this is where this is where that is, blah, 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 blah. So we wanted to immerse ourselves in that area. So we stayed there the first half of the trip. And then we stayed in New Dubai the second half. If you are going to spend most of your time doing excursions that are within New Dubai, or visiting like landmark things that are within New Dubai, like the Dubai Mall, the Burj Khalifa, Atlantis, stuff like that, you want to stay in New Dubai. You want to stay closer into that area. That way you can save money by riding the train and the tram, and save more time by riding the train and the tram. One of the crazy things that Will and I realized after we had moved to New Dubai was that the train line that we were on actually passed all of the landmarks that we went to. So it was like stop after stop after stop was Dubai Mall, Mall of the Emirates, Burj Khalifa, Atlantis. Like everywhere we went, we could have rode the train to get there. Now, again, there were times where we could have rode the train and we were just like, no, we don't have time. We're going to just jump in an Uber. However, if you are wanting to do those things and you don't want to spend the money on the Uber, you want to be close to the action, you definitely want to stay in New Dubai. Now, what type of hotel you stay in is going to be based on budget, hotel cleanliness, preferences, what you want to be close to, things like that. We chose the Westin because we wanted a beach resort hotel. We wanted somewhere where we can hang out on the beach and enjoy, that life for a couple of days, and also be close to the action. When we went to Amasina for dinner at the Ritz-Carlton, it was literally 2 hotels down from where we were at the Westin. So a lot of the action was close to where we were staying at the Westin. We actually walked around in that area. It was a lot of grocery stores, a lot of things we could do, but we weren't there for that. Last thing, and I'm going to touch on, it was just something that I've actually seen in other YouTubers' videos, and I want to touch on this because I think they're kind of, I think it's about time. I think that was the biggest thing. It was about people's time. Will and I went to Dubai for 9 days. We did not go for 5 days. We didn't go for 7 days. We went for 9 days. We knew that we were going to be doing a lot while we were there. Dubai is somewhere where it is a lot of action. It's a lot of moving and shaking. If you want to see all the, landmarks and the stuff like that, that's not somewhere where you just go sit and chill. And then I'm not saying it's not a place for romance. It's not a place for couples, because we definitely enjoyed our time. We had romantic time together, but we had a lot of fun and a lot of adventure while we were there. And people are like, they were just really tired while they were there because they were just constantly hustle and bustle, constantly moving. Dubai is somewhere where you have to commit to some time over there if you want to see everything, or you are going to be tired. You are going to be cranky and irritable from the jet lag and stuff by the end of the trip. We didn't have that because we got all that out of the way up front. We, got onto the time zones immediately. We got there in the evening, and then we stayed up until bedtime, and then we went to bed. And then the next day we stayed out. We did stuff all day, came back, ate dinner, stayed up till bedtime, went to bed so that we can immediately get acclimated to the time zone. We never took naps in the middle of the day that would have been like the time zone. You understand what I'm saying? Your body is not going to get used to the new time zone if you keep trying to go to bed at the time zone of your home. So you have to take that into consideration, but you have to give yourself time to do it. So if you're going to go to Dubai, 5 days is not enough. So you have to commit to some time when you go over there. So anyway, that was the last thing that I had to say. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, definitely give it a thumbs up. We appreciate you guys who are rocking with us. Go ahead, if you are new to the channel, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll check you out the next time. So thanks for watching, and I hope all your travels are timeless.